Today's how to build is on Golden Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm going to start off this video with some updates. If you want to skip ahead to the building instructions, use the table of contents links in the video description. I've received over 720 comments requesting that I build Golden Freddy. I originally said that I wouldn't do Golden Freddy since it was just a color change of Freddy Fazbear. However, I realized the seated position of Golden Freddy actually does change the build in some significant ways, and there were so many people requesting Golden Freddy, I thought, why not? I'll go ahead and do this quick build. I know that a lot of you are still waiting for Mangle and Balloon Boy. I haven't gotten around to making those builds yet, but they are on my list. Before I jump into the builds today, I've got some really exciting news to share with you all. So for the past 5 years, I've been working with the animator David Pagano on writing a book about how to make Lego stop-motion animations, also known as brick films. So just this last week, we were able to finally announce that the Lego animation book will be published this September 2016 by No Starch Press. This book really takes you through the process from start to finish of how to make your first animation, how to improve, how to make Lego characters move and walk and fly. And I'm really excited to be sharing this with all of you because I know a lot of you are really eager to make Lego animations but don't know where to start or don't know how to take your skills to the next level. I've really enjoyed the evolution of this YouTube channel from something that started out as a way for me to share brick films that I had created into a way that I can communicate with all of you to help you become better Lego builders and soon to help you become better Lego animators. So I'm really excited to share this book with you in September. There's a link in the description where you can go and pre-order this book now if you're super excited, and I hope you are, and more news about this book coming up throughout 2016. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's start building Golden Freddy. First up, let's look at the minifigure scale. So there's not a lot to the minifigure scale Golden Freddy. First thing you want to look for is a yellow torso with yellow arms and yellow hands and some yellow pants. Yellow torsos are hard to come by, so you could also find one that has some printing on it and just flip it around. This one used to have printing on it that I painted over long ago. So then you want to get it into a seated position since Golden Freddy is usually sitting down. One of these minifig microphones in the hand. For the bow tie, there is this black neckerchief piece, which works really well. You could also just paint a bow tie on if you want to do that way. For the head, I've got one of these Chima Ice Bear heads. This one is white. You would obviously want to paint this yellow for the full effect. I'm just going to make it yellow using Photoshop magic for this video. But not too hard to paint it yellow and just put some black accents on for the nose. Since the head is normally tilted off to the side, you're going to want to grab some putty or sticky tack or blue tack, whatever you call it. Just some of this stuff. I'm using it in yellow so it blends in it with everything. Stick that on the side of the neck, and that'll let you kind of attach the head at an angle like that. For his top hat, 1x1 square black tile and a 1x1 round plate, like so. And then again, just a little bit of putty to anchor it to the head. Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic. And now you've got a minifig scale Golden Freddy sitting in the corner. If you want this Golden Freddy to look like it does in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, basically you just need to angle the head because it's tilted at a different direction in that game. And you know, if you wanted to be really exact, you could take off that ear, but that would involve heavily modifying a Lego piece, so most of you probably won't want to do that. Now let's take a look at Doublefig Golden Freddy. For the body of our Golden Freddy, we're again going to want yellow legs as well as a yellow torso with yellow arms and yellow hands. This is just an old pirate torso that I turned around so the front is all yellow. Put that on the legs. Some 1x1 square plates to make the legs just a little bit longer for our Doublefig scale. A neck bracket. I'm using black, just blends in a little bit better as kind of the bow tie area, but it could be a different color if you don't have black. won't be too visible. Put it into a seated position. For the microphone, I like the Minifig microphone, but if you don't have that, you could also use a black lightsaber handle and a 1x1 silver round plate. And then for where we're going to attach the head, because we're going to do it at an angle, we're going to have a not great connection. It's going to be kind of loose, but we're going to start with a 1x3 tile in yellow. It could also be a 1x4 if you don't have a 1x3. But we're going to connect it like this, and once we have the head built, you'll see how we're going to connect it at a weird angle. So surprise, surprise, this is going to be built using a Travis brick as its center, brick with studs on all four sides. My favorite Lego piece. For one of the side ears, we're going to get one of these 1x2 plates that has a clip in light gray, put a 1x1 yellow tile on it, and then we're going to attach 1x1 plate with clip to the clip and then bend it about 45 degrees. So this will be sort of one side of the face with an ear. The other side, we're only going to use a 1x1 plate with clip in light gray and then clip a yellow clip on for the ear. This is a tricky thing to do. Not really an official Lego connection, but best way I found to do the ears. For the top of the head, gonna do a 2x2 radar dish in yellow and this top hat piece on top of that. Then we're gonna build the face, so we'll put the head back there. Start with a 1x2 plate with handle in yellow, then 1x2 plate with clips. Connect it like that, so we've got studs and studs. Move it to 90-degree angle. Put some black 1x1 rounds on the front for eyes. Take a black 1x1 round with a hole in it for the nose. Then put some teeth on, white 1x1 rounds, and a 1x2 yellow tile for the bottom of the mouth here. And then for the bow tie, we're going to take 1x1 black clip and connect it in the center there. Put this all on to the head. So now we've got the head all built together. Now, as I said, the connection of the head is going to be relatively loose, so we're going to connect that 1x3 tile to the back of the Travis brick. And that's going to be how it connects to the body. And we're going to, kind of put it at an angle here. This is a hard connection to do. So normally it would sit up like that, but since we're not actually putting the Travis brick down on the neck, we can kind of move this off at an angle. And it stays relatively stable as long as you don't hit it too much or anything like that. And you can see the bow tie is kind of coming in the middle there. And you'll notice here, the reason I didn't do a 1x2 plate over here is because with this bent down, it would run into the arm over here. So that's why this side has less stuff on it. So yeah, so that's kind of how you do the Doublefig Golden Freddy. Looks pretty good. Again, if you want to change this into Golden Freddy from the second game, you just kind of want to flip things around here. So we could flip which side the ear stuff was on, and then connect this in a different direction over here so that the head leans the other direction. And then you just pull off this ear here. That would be kind of Golden Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And here's a quick look at how Golden Freddy compares to the other Doublefig animatronics that I've done. Last but not least, let's move on to the action figure scale Golden Freddy. Here's a look at the parts you'll need to build Golden Freddy's torso. So you're going to start with a 1x3 plate, then get a 2x2 and a 1x2 upward slope. Connect all of that with a 2x3 plate. Next level, we're going to do 1x3 plate in the front. On the back, 3 1x1 bricks with one stud on the side. In the front, we're going to do a 1x1 brick. On the back, a 1x3 plate. Going to leave this room here for connecting the legs later. Next level, we'll do 1x1 brick with a stud on one side, 1x1 brick, brick with stud on one side, 1x3 plate, 1x3 plate, some 1x1s, and in the center here for the bow tie, to do a plate with circle clip in the center, and 2 1x1 plates with clip on each side. Then for the top, we're going to take a jumper plate over here, there we go, and connect the rest with 1x2 tiles. Then we're going to use a 1x1 plate with clip up here for where we're going to connect the head. So that's the basic part of the torso. For Golden Freddy's legs, I'm going to start with some 1x2 plates with click hinge on them, with the open part of the click hinge. Connect 2 of those with a jumper plate. Then we're going to do a cylinder brick. For the knee here, going to take one of these curvy arch bricks and connect it to a 1x2 plate, like so. Going to put a cheese slope and a 1x1 tile on top, nice curvy bit. And then to kind of complete this section under the leg, going to take a cheese slope and some putty or sticky tack and put it upside down. I really wish they'd make these cheese slopes as kind of a reverse underslope. That would be really helpful. Until they do, I'm going to fake it because that's what I want to do. So now these legs can connect in here to each of these slots over here. And you can twist out the feet so they point out each a little bit. Now you've got a nice stable base for Golden Freddy. For Golden Freddy's back, pretty simple. Connect 1x3 and a 2x3 plate with a 1x3 plate. Then take some of these 1x2 curvy downward slopes in yellow. 3 going that way. And some of the 1x3 curvy downward slopes going the other direction. You've got a nice curved back. Can connect it on to those 3 we connected earlier, so it lines up nicely at the top. Press it down, make sure it's well connected. For Golden Freddy's arms, I'm going to start with a 1x2 plate with a handle on the end. A 1x1 plate, 1x2 curvy downward slope. Connect it to a 1x2 plate with clip on the end. 1x1 plate with clip on the end going that way. Curvy downward slope. Then for the hands, going to connect it like so to one of these gray nozzle pieces. Take a 1x2 plate with 2 clips. Connect it like that. Then a 1x2 plate with 3 little handles. It's going to look like this. And connect 4 yellow minifig hands, 3 to the handles, all pointing in the same direction, kind of away from the lean of the arm. And then the last one's going to go back here, kind of at an angle like that. Then you're going to do 2 of those arms, and so one hand is going to point that way, and the other hand you're going to mirror, make go the other direction. Kind of a look at how the handles are pointed, how the hands are pointed. And then for the microphone that you want to hold in the hand, take a yellow 1x1 clip, put that over there, one of these black sort of torch pieces, some silver 1x1 rounds, 2 of those, and connect it into that clip that we added. That kind of leaves the microphone dangling out of the hand there. To connect these to the bodies, we're going to look for that stud on the side, and we're going to put it into the bottom of that 1x2, like so that it leans up a little bit. He kind of has his shoulders hunched up, so I thought that was a good way of representing that. And you'll adjust the angle of the arms so that the hands are kind of lying nice and flat on the ground. You might have to mess around with the angle of the nozzle in the kind of the wrist there. So it's very posable that way, so that you can really get that kind of floppy, arms down, hands on the ground look of Golden Freddy. So now let's start building Golden Freddy's head, starting with the inside and the front. So we're going to use a technique we used in Bonnie's head. So we're going to take a 1x2 rhino plate, as I like to call it, because it's kind of like a rhino horn. We're going to connect that with a 1x1 plate with clip. I'm going to connect that to kind of the knuckle of the rhino horn, mixing my metaphors. I'm going to use a 1x1 plate of any color and type. Doesn't really matter here, so I'm just using this light gray round because I have lots of those. Then we're going to connect the all-important Travis brick, like this, so the hole points in the same direction as the 1x2 of the rhino plate. Then for the sort of nose area, start with a 2x2 plate, build some 1x2 plates on top of that, and then take a 1x1 round with a hole in it in black. This will be the sort of nose on the front of Golden Freddy. If you think that the nose should be a really different shade than the rest of the body, you might do this in tan rather than yellow, but I didn't think it was that noticeable of a difference. For the bottom of the mouth, I'm going to take a 1x2 plate in black, then build down from that with some 1x2 curvy slopes in yellow, and some 1x1 white rounds for teeth. So Golden Freddy's mouth kind of hangs open and looks kind of like dark inside, so that's why I did black here, even though it kind of looks weird when you just look at it like this, because it looks like, oh, why isn't there yellow connecting? But I thought it ended up looking good. So that's the first part of the head. Now let's finish off the head. For the eyes, we're going to take a jumper plate in yellow and 2 black 1x1 rounds for the eyes. Connect that into the hole of the Travis brick. For the side of the face, 1x3 plate, 1x1 plate, 1x2 curvy downward slope, then a 1x1 plate with clip, and then you're going to put a 1x1 tile in it at a 45-degree angle. You want to do that mirrored so that the inside of the tile is facing forward on both sides. That makes it kind of look like the inside of a ear. Then for the back of the head, take a 2x2 plate and a 1x2 plate. It's important to not do this as a 2x3 plate or it won't connect. Do a 1x2 plate there. Some curvy downward slopes, 1x2, and a double cheese slope or 2 cheese slopes on the back. Then you're going to connect the 1x2 plate, the center little bit there, into the hole of that stud on the back of the Travis brick. Make a nice rounded back of the head. And for the top of the head, do a radar dish and a top hat. If you've got one, you could do a 2x2 jumper plate under that radar dish. I just don't have one in yellow, but I think it looks good even without that. Now that the head is complete, you can attach it to the body. So we're going to look for that little bit of the rhino plate sticking out and connect it into that clip. This is, again, not an official connection since we're connecting it at an awkward angle, but it gives us a lot of freedom to tilt the head back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and tilt it kind of all the way to the side here. Then we've got Golden Freddy slumped in a corner like a sad, forgotten robot hallucination. Now, if you want to adjust this to look like Golden Freddy does in the second game, I'm going to take off the head real quick. Just quickly disconnect the arms so we can get a better look at the body. So we just need to rearrange the top of the body here. So basically we just want to move the jumper plate to the other side. Put the arms back on. And then since the 1x1 plate with clip stayed with the head when I disconnected it, just kind of attach that back to the jumper plate and lean his head in the different direction and then pull off this ear. Then you've kind of got Golden Freddy from the second game. Here's a quick comparison of Golden Freddy versus all the other action figure size animatronics that I've built before. So that's it for the Golden Freddy video. I hope you enjoyed watching this and got some cool building techniques out of it. Thanks again for tuning in to Brick 101. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments telling me what you want to see me build in the future. Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic, Photoshop magic. Whoop, not like that. That was kind of a catastrophe.